Alright, what's up everybody? It's Carl's Collects Comics and I'm back with another top 10 list. This time I'm going to be sharing with you my top 10 picks for Obi-Wan Kenobi comics that you should buy now. So stay tuned. Okay, so tonight I'm checking out the top 10 Obi-Wan Kenobi comics that you should be considering picking up right now. The trailer has dropped for this series. It is coming out in a matter of weeks, and everybody in Star Wars fandom is excited because this is the series that's going to unite the prequel trilogy and the original trilogy. And we're going to get to see that time span between the two as we see an aging Obi-Wan Kenobi in exile, but still seeking to protect his young charge, Luke Skywalker. So lots of cool stuff that's going to be happening in that series. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really hoping that they decide to do an additional limited series as like a sequel series to it, and we get to see more Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi, because he was one of the big parts of the original, of the prequel trilogy. I thought he was one of the best parts, and seeing him age and mature and develop over that time was fantastic. So let's go ahead and dive into this list. So I pulled these books. Number 10 on my list of the top 10 Obi-Wan Kenobi books, comics that you should pick up right now is Star Wars Age of Republic, Obi-Wan Kenobi #1, cover B. So this issue tells the origin of Anakin Skywalker as he's trained by Obi-Wan Kenobi. However, while the story is a cool book to have on its own, this is a variant cover by fan favorite artist Raza. Over the past 6 months or so, we've seen him provide stellar covers for Miles Morales' Spider-Man, Moon Knight, and many others, including the Star Wars High Republic main title. Just a fantastic cover artist, and this cover is really I think probably an underordered gem, because I love seeing this dark cover with that one blue light source, and then one of the familiar Obi-Wan Kenobi fighting stances that we saw in the prequel trilogy. So this looks to be a fantastic book to pick up. I wasn't aware of it until I started researching for this video, and I just thought it was a really cool one that is well worth picking up. So make sure and be on the lookout for this one. Number 9 on my list is Star Wars Age of Republic Count Dooku #1, the John Tyler Christopher action figure variant. So this figure, features an Ewan McGregor inspired action figure Obi-Wan Kenobi, like I said, by John Tyler Christopher. And so while action figure variants as a whole are a more niche category than most variants, I do continue to feel that action figure variants for Star Wars books in particular should be considered more highly due to the deep connection the franchise has to action figures. Action figures are what built, they're one of the foundational cornerstones of the Lucasfilm empire, because it really was action figures and the accompanying toys that blew up Lucasfilm, and one of the ancillary revenue streams that he held on to. Even though he gave away points in the profit for the film, he kept all the merchandising, and that's really what built Lucasfilm, and one of those cornerstones was action figures. So the whole idea of action figures, the 3.5-inch action figures, and the Star Wars franchise, they just go hand in hand. So this one I thought was a fantastic variant cover, even though it's inexplicably for Count Dooku. But I do recommend picking this one up as well, because I think it's one of those neat little gems that a lot of people might sleep on, but you can add to your Obi-Wan collection. So number 8 on my list is Star Wars #24. So this book is from the original Marvel series, featuring a solo story that stars the older Obi-Wan Kenobi, but it's still relatively low priced. It may begin to climb with the series coming soon, but for an Obi-Wan fan, this is a really good one to have. And just that iconic image of him on the cover with that very odd-looking sword, laser sword, I just think that's a neat This is a neat throwback to the original series, but it's one that not a lot of people, again, have paid too much attention to. And I've only recently, since the trailer dropped, seen it get a little bit of attention, a little bit of buzz, but I still think it's undervalued. Number 7 on my list is Star Wars Episode 1, Obi-Wan Kenobi #1, the photo variant cover. So this is the first appearance of Darth Maul in an original story. It features a young Ewan McGregor on the cover, and I think it's going to become more sought after should McGregor decide to start doing convention appearances. To me, that's been one of the biggest things that's come up with anytime we see a photo variant for any issue. It spikes when there's a new convention appearance or a private signing featuring that actor. Photo variants to me is the one time when I could justify spending the money to have somebody that is not a comic creator sign a comic book, because that is just the perfect marriage of the actor portraying the role with their comic book counterpart. So I, myself have kept in my to be signed section of my collection a Battlestar Galactica comic book that features Edward James Olmos solo on the cover, because he's one of my favorite actors and was one of my favorite parts of the Battlestar Galactica reboot in the mid-2000s. So I keep that ready to be signed by him. This is another neat one to pick up, this photo variant featuring a young Ewan McGregor in the role. Number 6 on my list is Star Wars Age of Republic, Obi-Wan Kenobi #1, Cover A. So this is the one that's most that's more familiar to collectors, and it's my firm opinion that collectors should pick up both A and B covers for this issue if you're looking to shore up the Obi-Wan Kenobi section of your overall collection. They're not crazy priced at the moment, but we may see movement as the debut of the new show approaches. Number 5 on my list is Star Wars #15. Now, I've always enjoyed one-off, single-issue stories in larger runs, especially when they choose to time jump. This story from the 2015 Jason Aaron Marvel run is a one-off adventure starring Obi-Wan Kenobi during his time on Tatooine, as excerpted from his journal that was later discovered by Luke Skywalker. So the cover features an aged Kenobi in a Desert Commando style outfit, very much how I would have seen Kenobi as a middle-aged man. Now, while we may not see any of this on the show, it's a fun read and has some nice nods to both the history and the destiny of the character. So I do recommend picking that up. And again, it has the added bonus of being a one-off story, which I personally happen to be a big fan of. Number 4 on my list is Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi #1. So this book features the origin of everyone's favorite Jedi in hiding. All material connecting the McGregor Obi-Wan to his much older counterpart is going to become heavily sought after due to the popularity boost sure to come from the limited series. So this is another one to consider picking up, as it has a really nice cover, but then it also is a neat little story that you can get some. And there hasn't been a ton of Obi-Wan Kenobi centric comics to this point. Number 3 on my list is Star Wars Darth Vader #6. So the primary antagonist in the limited series, aside from Darth Vader, will be an adaptation of the Grand Inquisitor and the Inquisitorius, consisting of the 5th brother, 6th brother, 7th sister, 8th brother, and 9th sister, plus, for the first time, we're going to get to see the 3rd sister. Now, I generally don't advise speculating on villains, but these characters have appeared in the comics, the animated series, and in addition to this series, it looks like they're getting their own series as well, also rumored to be live action. I think they are an excellent invention that was put together. They are what the Knights of Ren I felt should have been in the sequel trilogy. They have been shepherded and sprinkled throughout and have their own storyline and mythology to them. And I think that it's an excellent fit for this to have these characters chasing Obi-Wan and seeking after him, even though it's really Darth Vader that we want to see in action. And I'm hoping that we get some sort of a canon-friendly rematch between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi. So, but we may not see it that way. It may not play that way. The way we're thinking. So number 2 on my list is Star Wars number 1. Wait, what? Hang on. That's right. Star Wars number 1 is number 2 on my list. Because it has the first cover appearance of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it's the iconic book that kicked off the comic franchise. Yes, it's pricier and more significant within the Star Wars universe as a whole, but on a list tailored to an Obi-Wan Kenobi, it lands in the number 2 spot only. Now, keep in mind, it is also the first appearance of Darth Vader, and Darth Vader is going to be the primary overarching antagonist of the Obi-Wan Kenobi limited series. However, I still think it takes a back seat for this Obi-Wan Kenobi list to number 1 on my list, which is Star Wars number 2. This is the first in-story appearance of Obi-Wan Kenobi, as well as Han Solo, Chewbacca, and the Millennium Falcon. Now, while issue number 1 is his first cover appearance, this would technically be his first in-story appearance. This book has continued to see gains over the past few years as fans and collectors have realized the true significance of this issue. We see it go from a $10 to $15 book maximum up to now a $200+ book, and it continues to climb, especially in high grade. The reason for this is because every collectors have realized that about true first appearances, and the fact that Obi-Wan Kenobi appears for the very first time in this issue is of great significance to a lot. Also, as a quick note, I'm hoping for a Han Solo cameo in the Obi-Wan Limited series, and we do. That is also the first appearance of Han Solo as well, everybody's favorite reformed smuggler. So hey, that's my top 10 list for books that feature Obi-Wan Kenobi that you should be picking up right now. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that this was a big help to you. Make sure and like this video if you did. Make sure and leave a comment. Let me know, are there any books that I left off that you think I should have paid attention to? I'm always interested in hearing your feedback on the video and the information that I provide. Also, know that when you leave a comment, I will take the time to respond to each and every comment and give you my feedback and my take on whatever you have to say. Also, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Tonight we're going to be announcing the 600 subscriber giveaway, and that's a great prize that you absolutely want to be paying attention for. So make sure that you're subscribed and then hit that notification bell so that you'll know every single time that we go live. As always, I want to remind you that we also have a Wednesday night show called The Giveaway Show. It's a live stream show from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Central. And then also on Monday, I do a series called Monday Hauls. And Monday Hauls is when I showcase my pickups, my comic book pickups from the past week to week and a half, sometimes even further. Thanks again for tuning in tonight. It's been a pleasure to